Dan Patrick was talking about my boyhood idol here right before the show, so I'm not the only one that tries to, yeah, I got a drinking game. How many references can Marky Billson make to Willie Stargell or Chief Wahoo in one sports talk show? There you go. Hey, it is Marky Billson here, your voice of choice for a new generation of Tri-City sports fans. The name of the program is Tri-City Sports Now, and we own the Tri-Cities on 1420 WEMB Sports Radio. You know why? I mean, I can tell you that it's because we got the best guests and the hardest hitting opinions in the market. I can tell you because we're giving away 4 tickets to Dollywood if you like 1420 WEMB Sports Radio on Facebook, and tell us your favorite all-time sports moment. We've had everything from watching my kid play Wii ball. Is that different from T-ball? Forgive me. I don't have a child playing either T or Wii or Little League. I played Little League. I didn't play, never. Didn't have it. So, okay, so you've got all that. But we've got that. We've got, my favorite was watching the 2015 Coca-Cola 600. We had that. We had a Tennessee Vandy game. We had a lot of stuff here. What the favorite was. Baseball playoffs in Busch Stadium. That was pretty decent. A lot of seeing my son play in local sports, too. I mean, whatever it is. So you like 1420 WEMB Sports Radio, on Facebook, and give us your favorite sports moment. And in a week, I will be drawing for 4 tickets to Dollywood. And by the way, there's still good odds that you can win this bad boy, because right now we've had plenty of responses, but it's still, you figure, well, what's my chance here, if you were to give us your item now, it'd be about 4%. I mean, 1 in 25. So, I think there are 24 responses we have. So, there you go. Like us on 1420 WEMB Sports Radio on Facebook. Could win free Dollywood tickets. You'll see where to do it. Give us your favorite sports moment that you ever saw. And you could win. And by the way, today, with like number 1,483, we became the most liked sports radio station in the market on Facebook. We passed our competitor by 1. They may get 2 more today, and we may be in a real Donnybrook. So like us on 1420 WEMB Sports Radio, folks. We're already the most followed. We have been for some time now. We're the most liked. And this is really something. I mean, I know that becomes a cliche. Really something. But the deal is that our signal is not centrally located. Our tower is in Irwin. It is not in, some point around all of the Tri-Cities. Our signal is 5,000 watts on AM and 21 at night. Night we get to Irwin. Daytime, I've seen a coverage map. A lot depends on how the wind blows and such. I mean, our signal, if you want to know today, probably doesn't reach quite as far as it might have been if it was cloudy. Sun rays eat up radio waves. That's why when it becomes dark and all of a sudden, oh, look at this, I can listen to Cincinnati on my AM radio, that sort of thing. But nevertheless, you're looking at really something significant. I think that that's one of the forward thinking. Just doing this show on Facebook Live, that's obviously helped out. My own recruiting people to like it has also helped out. I'll be honest with you there. But also, just the fact that I think people are appreciating that it's not, small town good morning radio. That we do try to take a stand. That we do not shy away from the controversial issues. That I'll ask a tough question of a coach, whether he likes it or not. Right, Steve Forbes? Anyway. So, that's the thing. I'll do that. And I think people appreciate that. I think we have really, for years, been absolutely handicapped with, I'm such good friends with all these high school coaches, I won't make a selection on the game. Don't want to make a selection on the game, that's one thing. Don't use that as an excuse. I mean, I was thinking about this, picks, during football season especially. I mean, picks are so sports radio because it's all about an opinion. I think that the Steelers will win. No, I think that the Raiders will win. That sort of thing. And, okay, you've got a debate. You've got healthy friction. That's what sports talk radio is about. Still, though, I mean, if you did pick the Rams to win the Super Bowl this past season or something, would you have really been, he doesn't know what he's talking about? No, he just picked the game wrong. I mean, even the best are going to do that from time to time, right? All right. So there you are. Are you planning to celebrate Independence Day? This is Marky's monologue, by the way. Maybe you want to go to a picnic, do some backyard grilling. You're a vegetarian? Fine, grill corn. People grill corn. It's pretty good. Maybe go to a ball game. See a display of fireworks. Or how about a display of a good old American flag? Only best you not display that Betsy Ross flag. The one with 13 stars in a circle, original colony, 1776. Because according to Colin Kaepernick, it's racist. Taking a Paul Harvey dramatic pause to let that one sink in. Nike had produced a sneaker that featured the iconic American symbol on it for the 4th of July. But when Nike spokesperson Kaepernick, remember, he's a pitchman for him now, and he found out about it, and he contacted the front office of Nike up there in Oregon, and he objected. So Nike pulled it off the market, the sneaker, with the Betsy Ross flag on it, because Colin Kaepernick told him to. See, he seems to think that the Betsy Ross flag is a symbolism of America's racist past. It's a symbolism of the colonial days, but that means racist past. It flew when America had slavery. It also flew long after many of the states represented on the flag had outlawed the peculiar institution, which, by the way, in East Tennessee was never popular. That's one of the reasons why East Tennessee sided with the North during the Civil War. It just, Andrew Johnson, becoming Lincoln's vice president and all that. Look, we have we're Southern Appalachia here, okay? We have no money, and we have a lot of hills, so we can't have real big farms, I mean, it's not going to be a big slave territory here, you see. I mean, I think it was called the Emancipator. First abolitionist newspaper was in Jonesboro, as a matter of fact, 1820. But, we can't think about our progress as a country or how far we've come or, we can't be never again. It's like to live in 1860 or something around here, Now, another thing, you might be able to say, look, I think it's kind of a reach to try to say that everything that was around in America prior to 1863 then would be racist. I mean, you could do that, but the Kaepernick supporters, let's say, or the supporters of saying that the Betsy Ross flag is racist, they also point to this. In 2016, in Michigan, there was a high school football game, and it had a predominantly Caucasian high school playing against a predominantly African-American high school in Michigan. And some of the fans of the Caucasian team brought along a Betsy Ross flag and a Donald Trump flag, a Make America Great flag. They brought it to the game. By the way, Trump at the time was campaigning for the presidency. It was 2 months before the election. And the other team objected to it, or someone on the other team, fan base would have objected to it, said it was racist. The NAACP picked up on it. the high school that I guess their fan base was displaying the Betsy Ross flag, put out a statement, and we don't go down with that, instead of trying to say, look, we get that you shouldn't bring a political banner to a game. In fact, if you tried to bring a political banner, like vote for Trump, vote for Clinton, vote for Biden, whoever, to a ball game, they'd have you take it down. Okay, that's actually one of the rules, non-political banners. Okay, that's one of the things. So if you want to go along that line and all this, but yeah, that's really saying something here. Betsy Ross flag has been linked supposedly to the Patriot movement, but do a quick Google images search for Patriot movement Betsy Ross flag, which I did, and you'll find no images of the flag in some sort of Patriot movement rally. Now, I also wrote, just for comparison's sake, Confederate flag KKK, plenty of symbols of the Confederate flag in KKK rallies, also American flag KKK, same thing. Plenty of symbols, American flag, KKK rallies, but none that I could find Patriot movement Betsy Ross flag. Now, I didn't go down 5 pages either, so if we want to do that, but first one images that came up, nothing like that. It was very different with, like I said, American or Confederate flag KKK on a Google search. So, this is the thing that I have always, of course, you hear me, the one thing that I hate is finding hate where it doesn't exist. I think this is where the modern day bigotry lies. And I cannot understand why, when extremists embrace a particular image or a symbol, whatever it may be, Betsy Ross flag, Gadsden flag, Confederate flag, whatever, instead of wholly rejecting the use of said symbol as abhorrent, the symbol itself becomes abhorrent. I do not understand that. It actually empowers the extremists to incorporate a symbol as their own, thus giving those extremists power that they otherwise would not have. And that, to me, is then promoting extremism, whether it is about race or politics or what have you. This could, however, be the demonization that backfires, because this morning, Arizona Governor Doug Ducey, he is a Republican, has directed the Arizona Commerce Authority to cancel all financial incentives for Nike's planned manufacturing plant that was outside of Phoenix. Now, I'm really curious to see how this one's going to pan out, because one could just as easily promote that story as Governor lives in the past, defends archaic flag, now used as a white supremacist symbol, cost Phoenix metro area 500 jobs. I mean, you could, if you wanted to, right there. Or how about this one? Slavery symbol defense to resurrect slavery in foreign countries. Nike plans to cancel their Arizona factory to build a sweatshop in Honduras. Now, there I think that the argument, it's not the Betsy Ross flag. If Nike was going to do that, then the onus is on Nike. Come on. But then again, you get the idea. Maybe cooler heads can prevail. Maybe Nike puts sneakers back on the market. Maybe Nike says, to heck with it. Even without the financial incentives, we'll make money. With the factory in Phoenix, we already planned it. Okay, profits initially won't be that much, but whatever. All I know is this: you don't like Kaepernick, you're not going to now. He does have his numerous supporters. I just wonder this. Okay, First of all, sports logos have often been associated with gangs. And the Raiders wearing black, that sort of thing. That is often Phil Mushnick, who's been on the show, he often has spoken out against teams like Tennessee did. 2009. And it was Halloween, but they wore a black uniform. Orange and black for their Halloween game against South Carolina. Tennessee won it 31-13, 10 years ago. They haven't done it since. But there is this idea that it becomes, kind of gangish. Duke was doing it. Mushnick got on Duke. I thought rightly so. It's like, your colors are blue and white. Where are you getting black? I think he has a point. The Michigan Wolverines, that's been a symbol for gang culture. I was surprised to learn that the Houston Astros, don't ask me to get into why, but they've been incorporated into gang culture and all that. Now, again, why then there isn't a cry to, you must change the logos then? And again, who incorporated? If an anti-Semitic group started incorporating the New York Yankees caps, and why? No Yiddish, not New York. Would that mean that the Yankees would be forced to, because of extremism, change their cap? I certainly not down with the extreme group, but that seems to be, again, letting the extreme group win if you do that. And that's the same thing that I see with Nike pulling these sneakers with Betsy Ross flag on them. And who even knew right now that the Betsy Ross flag was, it's like, wait a minute. Really? Betsy Ross flag? Honest? And I see this as, it could be, and it's what I think, the demonization that we do of symbols, of, sports team names, whatever. Could this be where it all ends? That you've just bit far too much off, just far too much when you have taken on an American flag? Or is it that this is where it all falls? That the Betsy Ross flag does lead to Old Glory? And that then we can't have displays of that for whatever reason. And then that's where American culture dies. Yeah. So it's one of the reasons why I'm always into the arguments of, when people want to demonize symbols and all this. It's one of the reasons why I talk about, hey, you can't let them do this to Chief Wahoo with the Cleveland Indians. It just, finding hate where it doesn't exist is the extremism. That's what is the definition of extremism. And you can't let the extremists win. And so therefore I say you can't let the extremists, if they are using the Betsy Ross flag, have the flag. And Nike, you better get those shoes back on the market. And Colin Kaepernick, shut up. Tri-City Sports Now. Home of the Happy Box meal featuring plentiful